Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're talking about something that's caught a lot of people off guard. Some Social Security recipients won't be getting a payment in September. Now, if you rely on Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, this might sound a bit alarming at first, but don't worry, it's not as bad as it seems. This is all due to a quirk in the payment schedule, and it happens every now and then. So let's break down why this is happening, and what you can do if you were expecting that payment. First off, here's what's going on. Usually, if you receive SSI, you'd expect your payment to hit your account on the 1st of every month. But here's the catch. This year, September 1st fell on a Sunday. And because the Social Security Administration doesn't issue payments on weekends or holidays, they sent out the SSI payments a little early on Friday, August 30th. What that means is, technically, you've already received your September payment just a few days ahead of schedule. But this also means there won't be another payment until October 1st. It's completely understandable if this is frustrating. For many people, receiving that check on the same day every month is how they plan their budgets, and when there's an unexpected shift like this, it can throw things off. You might be wondering, why didn't I hear about this sooner, or is there anything I can do about it? The good news is, this isn't something you'll lose out on. You're still receiving the same amount, just at a slightly different time. And actually, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. For those who remember back in June, the same thing occurred. June 1st was a Saturday, so payments were issued on May 31st instead. But even though these things happen, it can still be confusing if you're not keeping up with the payment schedule. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but what can I do if this payment gap is leaving me a little tight this month? This is where a bit of planning can come in handy. If you're in a position where budgeting for the gap is a challenge, you might want to look into local resources that can offer assistance, whether that's through food banks, community programs, or even short-term financial aid options. And speaking of planning ahead, let's talk about the future of SSI payments. The Social Security Administration has been working on making things a bit easier for beneficiaries. Starting in December, they're rolling out a new online application process called iClaim, which aims to simplify how people apply for SSI. The goal here is to make the process less time-consuming and more accessible, especially for first-time applicants. So, while this month's payment schedule might be a little frustrating, there's some positive news on the horizon for those applying for benefits in the future. Another thing to consider is checking the Social Security Administration's payment calendar ahead of time. They release these schedules well in advance, and keeping an eye on them can help you avoid surprises like the one we're talking about today. It's all about staying informed so that you can manage your finances with a little more peace of mind. Now, if you're wondering how this affects regular Social Security recipients, don't worry, there's no change for those of you who receive retirement benefits. Your payments will still come through as usual based on the day of the month you were born, so you won't see any interruption. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, first and foremost, if you receive SSI, just know that the absence of a September payment doesn't mean you're losing any money, it was just paid early. But because the next payment won't come until October 1st, it's important to budget accordingly and seek out any assistance you may need in the meantime. Also, keep an eye out for that new online application process coming later this year. It's part of a broader effort to make things easier for people who depend on these benefits. And if you're someone who finds navigating government websites challenging, hopefully, this change will make things just a little bit simpler for you in the future. I hope this clears up some of the confusion around the payment schedule this month. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'd love to help however I can. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share this with anyone who might need to hear it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.